Welcome back into Live Now from Fox. I'm Shawna Khalafi. We are monitoring a live event happening right now as a NASA spacecraft is preparing to undock from the International Space Station and head back here to Earth. 3 astronauts are on board. We watched a few hours ago as they closed the hatch of that spacecraft, preparing for departure. And that is scheduled here in the next half hour or so. The spacecraft launched and docked at the International Space Station on April 8th. And those 3 astronauts have now completed a 245-day stay aboard the station, orbiting Earth almost 4,000 times and traveling almost 104 million miles. Let's listen in now as the spacecraft prepares to undock at the International Space Station.
20,000 feet above the Earth, traveling quite fast. That will occur at 10:41 p.m. Central, 11:41 p.m. Eastern Time. At that point, just about a minute and a half later, plasma will begin to build up. That's the result of the heat that will build up around the Soyuz spacecraft that reaches some 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat shield, of course, will be repelling that heat as the Soyuz barrels its way toward the landing site on the steppe of Kazakhstan. Once the spacecraft and its three occupants exit the plasma regime, they'll feel maximum G loads on their bodies, the first tug of gravity in some 8 months of spaceflight. The maximum G loads of about 4 to 5 Gs against their bodies expected to occur at 10:47 p.m. Central, 11:47 p.m. Eastern Time. The command to open the parachutes on the Soyuz will occur at an altitude of 10.6 kilometers or 6.5 miles above the Earth, 34,777 feet to be precise. That command to open the chutes is expected at 10:49 and 31 seconds p.m. Central Time, 11:49 and 31 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. That parachute deployment sequence is triggered by a barometric pressure sensor at an altitude of 41,000 feet. At that point, the main parachute cover is jettisoned by pyros and springs, pulling out 2 extraction chutes, which in turn pulls out the drogue chute. That in turn pulls out the main chute. This all takes about 20 seconds to occur. Then at 21,300 feet, a barometric pressure sensor starts a timer that triggers most of the remaining events in the landing sequence. At an altitude of just 18,000 feet above the Earth, commands are issued to jettison the heat shield, inhibit the entry thrusters, and to open up valves to vent all the hydrogen peroxide fuel for the entry and the oxygen in the life support system tank. You've seen, perhaps in past Soyuz landings, a white vapor emanating from the spacecraft. That is normal. That's a combination of hydrogen peroxide and oxygen venting into the air. The purpose of this is to safe the vehicle for landing. The search and recovery forces do not want hazardous gases to remain in those tanks when the soft landing thrusters fire just a second or two before touchdown. This way, the ground support team can approach the vehicle immediately without any concern for hazardous gases. If all goes as planned, landing will occur at 11:03 and 55 seconds p.m. Central Time, 12:03 and 55 seconds a.m. Eastern Time, 10:03 and 55 seconds a.m. Kazakhstan Time. That'll occur about 91 miles southeast of the town of Dzhezkazgan, 2 hours and 6 minutes after sunrise at the landing site in Kazakhstan.
Let's open manual ISO valve 2. Here it is.
The NASA team that flew into Kazakhstan over the weekend, they received their helicopter assignments and flew on an Antonov 26 aircraft from the main staging city of Karaganda, Kazakhstan, to the forward staging site in Dzhezkazgan, Kazakhstan last night. They overnighted in Dzhezkazgan, now have made their way to the airfield in Dzhezkazgan, where they will board a half a dozen helicopters en route to the landing site, taking off in sequential fashion to arrive in the vicinity of the landing site around the time that the Soyuz will be approaching its touchdown point. They will form a circular circular racetrack pattern around the landing site. The voice and telemetry from Soyuz will be relayed through that Antonov fixed-wing aircraft that will send all of that voice and data back to the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside of Moscow. As is typical for a Soyuz entry, we do expect a loss of signal in voice communications from Ryzhikov aboard the Soyuz when it reaches a point about 128 kilometers away from the station. The antennas on the Soyuz and the antennas on the station will not be close enough to provide voice relay. So the communications, as is always the case, is expected to be a bit choppy from time to time until the Soyuz, with its familiar beep-beep from its beacon, reaches the vicinity of that Antonov 26 at the landing site, and then we should be good to go for a touchdown about 91 miles southeast of the town of Dzhezkazgan.
I have Sudan power, onboard computer ready.
На input 2 ТВС форматом.
And select TV system display on input 2. Okay, I'm priming command R17.
Подготовил, выдаю.
The command is ready. Sending the command.
Передатчик.
Transmitter is on, display plus TV mode.
We are less than 9 minutes away now from the command for the undocking. Again, this command that will be issued
The approach display
at 7:40 p.m. Central Time, 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time,
for dynamics
is designed to open the hooks holding the Soyuz in place, latched on to the Prichal module, to which it has been attached since April 8th. It'll take 90 seconds for the hooks to fully open, initiating springs on both sides of the docking interface to push off against one another, and then we'll have physical separation.
Секунд ТРД.
30 seconds to dynamic ops enable command. That's correct.
20.
20.
All of the activities leading up to the anticipated undocking just a few minutes from now have gone very smoothly. No issues reported. Again, the departing crew members, Kim, Ryzhikov, and Zubritsky, floated into their Soyuz vehicle at 4:30 p.m. Central Time, closed the Soyuz hatch behind them, began a series of leak checks before donning their Sokol launch and entry suits, conducted leak checks in the suits themselves, and everything is in readiness for their departure.
With your go prior to TV more, I selected wide angle length. I'm activating ADC mode. Yes, press it once.
Выдал один раз пересветку.
ADC mode once.
Принято.
Views nominal. Copy.
This view is the same view that the three crew members are seeing inside the descent module on their control panel.
TV more.
This is the external camera crosshaired view from the Soyuz MS-27.
I have soft dock.
You're familiar with that crosshaired engineering view. You'll see the data in the lower left-hand screen represent the distance that the Soyuz will have backed away from the International Space Station and its rate of departure.
I'm activating the headlight.
Выдаем.
S-17 commanding.
Включили фару.
We activated the headlight. ISS power connection is not lit.
Не горит.
Docking system remote control is not lit.
С вашим разрешением 04 39
With
00.
your go, we are ready to power up the docking system at 043900. I confirm 043900. That's command D7 from the command control panel. Copy.
Again, a great view of the Soyuz MS-27 in the final minutes before its departure from the Prichal module. Less than 4.5 minutes now before the command is issued for the undocking. Once again, physical separation will occur 90 seconds after the issuance of that command. At 7:40 p.m. Central Time, 90 seconds later, physical separation. 3 minutes after physical separation is the first of 2 separation burns of the Soyuz thrusters. This will be an 8-second burn to increase its departure rate by 0.53 meters per second. The second separation burn occurs about 1 minute and 20 seconds after that, a 15-second burn to further increase the opening rate by 1.61 meters per second.
We are watching live right now as a NASA spacecraft is preparing to undock from the International Space Station. That is just minutes away with 3 astronauts on board headed back here to Earth. The spacecraft is scheduled to undock in just a couple minutes here, and it will head for a parachute-assisted landing in Kazakhstan. That is scheduled for 10 a.m. local time tomorrow. This spacecraft, it's called the Soyuz spacecraft. It docked at the International Space Station on April 8th. The 3 astronauts on board have now completed their 245-day stay aboard the International Space Station. And we are hearing some commentary again as we prepare for the undocking. Let's listen.
To begin the trip home for Kim, Ryzhikov, and Zubritsky, and a chilly homecoming on the steppe of Kazakhstan on Tuesday morning.
4, 3, 2, 1. Commanding. D7, D11. Lit. D15 lit.
The Soyuz docking mechanism has now been activated.
Lit. TS-8 mechanical connection is lit.
Готовы выдать команду на открытие крюков.
With your go at 4:40, we are ready to command hook opening. Yes, you have a go to command D17 at 04:40. Copy. Commanding in 20 seconds.
Standing by for the issuance of the undocking command.
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Commanding.
And the command has been sent to open the hooks. This will take about 90 seconds to complete.
Closed. Not lit. S13 is not lit. Transfer hatch closed is lit.
The hooks are driving according to telemetry being received at the Russian Mission Control Center.
Pressurization. Copy, awaiting separation. Copy.
About 30 seconds away from physical separation.
Есть погасание механсоединения.
Mechanical connection is not lit.
Есть расхождение.
And we have undocking.
41:36.
04:41:36. I have separation. Docking system mode is complete. Soft dock is not lit. I have attitude system readiness 1 and 2. And indicator mode is not lit.
Undocking confirmed at 7:41 and 30 seconds p.m. Central Time, as Soyuz of the International Space Station flew 262 miles over eastern Mongolia.
Condition. Let me see.
Expedition 73 in the history books. Expedition 74 now officially underway.
It's clean, no FOG, and we're continuing to separate. Favore, please confirm interface condition.
This view from the Soyuz external engineering camera.
2 minutes to first burn.
That first burn, as mentioned, an 8-second burst of the Soyuz engines. That will initiate a faster opening rate. Jonny Kim, Sergey Ryzhikov, and Alexey Zubritsky on the way home. Undocking occurring flawlessly on time at 7:41 and 30 seconds p.m. Central Time.
Через минуту ожидаем включения ДПО.
In 1 minute, we'll have depot burn.
Up until the undocking, for the first time in history, every single docking port of the International Space Station had been occupied. Now there is an open parking place.
Favore, Moscow on interface conditions. I reported that the docking interface is clean and there are no debris. We're continuing to separate. 10 seconds to thruster firing. I have thruster firing.
And the first of the two separation burns being conducted.
8 seconds. Burn complete.
And it was a nominal burn, 8 seconds in duration.
We have attitude.
The second burn of 15 seconds in duration, about 1 minute and 20 seconds from now.
Экипаж МКС ЦУПу Москвы в канале СГ-1 для Сверчкова.
I have attitude readiness, and we are waiting for
the Soyuz reported to be stable, flying over southeastern Russia.
30 seconds.
Принято в работе. Это.
Standing by for the second separation burn. And the burn is underway.
Firing for the second burn. 7 seconds. 10. We are translating towards the USOS. The burn
and the second burn of 15 seconds in duration was nominal. So the Soyuz has increased its opening rate on the International Space Station after an on-time departure.
Victor 18 is prime. We're sending the command. The command is sent. We are continuing in page 50. We have time cycle completion. Rate sensors not lit. Accelerometer is not lit. Prop system pressurization is not lit. And we're priming Ivan 1. What's the E1 status? It is lit. We are priming Andrei 11. Don't touch. With your go, we are ready to select first thruster manifold. That's correct. A11. Commanding A11.
All right, we just watched live as a NASA spacecraft undocked from the International Space Station. 3 astronauts on board that spacecraft heading back here to Earth. They're scheduled to land in Kazakhstan tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. local time.